So I'm back here down in my basement after I've gotten home from work. I've got the KT HPA, which I coated the underneath of the breech and a pretty good ring around the transfer port with some Permatex gasket sealant RTV. And I just put 3 shots over my Crony. It was between 14 and 13 MPa, so it wasn't totally filled up to 15 MPa. But I took 3 shots. First was at 797 feet per second. The second was at 787 feet per second. And the third shot was at 781. So the sealant is definitely helping. How long it'll hold up, I have no idea. But I just topped off the gun again up to 15 MPa. And want to see if I can get to that 800 feet per second mark, which is where I was consistently at prior to finding out that the breech had a hairline crack in it. So, in real time, topped off, power adjuster in, pretty much as far as it'll go. So, that shot being topped off at 15 MPa, I am back over 800 feet per second. 808 feet per second with a 13.43 grain pellet. So, the velocity is back up. I do have another breech on order. So that's coming from China. That's going to take a while. In the meantime, I wanted to see, obviously, went to the trouble of taking off this breech, finding that hairline crack, sealing it up with some RTV sealant, and want to put another shot, not only over the Crony, but I've been shooting at the target, and so far I've been just really pleased with the accuracy of the gun, as well as the velocity numbers that I'm getting. So we're going to do one more shot. Those first 3 that I took, the 797, 787, and 781 feet per second shots, I went and checked out that 3-shot group and was really happy with it. So let's make it a 5-shot group. We've got this topped off velocity at 808 feet per second. Let's see how much it drops, and then let's check out that 5-shot group. here is that second shot after topping off to 15 MPa. 808 was the first one, and I got 802 on the second one. So 2 consecutive shots over 800 feet per second. I am pleased with those 2 shots. 2 consecutive shots after topping off the tank over 800 feet per second. So let's check out the 5-shot group that was taken. So I'm still using this target. It's the same one. You may notice and remember this from my most recent video where I was testing the Predator Polymags and the H&N Terminator pointed pellets. This 5-shot group that I just took with the KT-HPA was on this target. And if you remember, this one here was when I was shooting the Predator Polymags out of the KT-CO2. And I had that one really bad shot which fell off way low. And that's this one. So this is not part of the 5-shot group. This is the 5-shot group I just took at 10 meters. One almost on center, and then a real nice grouping of the other 4, creating one large hole. Pretty much all in the black. So with that said, this is a nickel. I can cover up all of the shots with a nickel. So, pleased with the accuracy, pleased with the velocity. Now let's see how well this RTV gasket material holds up. I'm quite certain that that hairline crack, which either starts or ends at, depending on which way you look at the underside of the breech, at the transfer port, I'm sure that there was air escaping through the crack and losing air being transferred through the transfer port into the barrel. So most of that seems to have been corrected, at least up to this point. So I'm happy with that. As I said, I do have another breech on order. I have some items that I'm supposed to be receiving tomorrow that I will make a video on. And the other thing I wanted to get back to and get a video posted up quickly, since I tested the Predator Polymag and the Terminator HN in the KT-CO2, I wanted to test them out as well in my 2289 backpacker, the pumper. So see what velocities I can, and accuracy I can get with those 2 pellets, pointed pellets, through my backpacker. Okay? Thanks for checking this out. Keep my fingers crossed as far as hopefully the velocity holding up with this KT-HPA. Quite honestly, whenever it is that that replacement breech does show up, I'm going to take my time, really get the material that needs to be removed from the underside of the breech removed to a minimum amount of material being removed. And if this is still holding up, I probably will wait to install any new breech until this starts to show me some decline in velocity. So, with that said, again, thanks for checking out this video. You guys stay safe. Shoot safe. So, an update. Before finishing and posting the video I was just working on, I continued to take some shots. I was interested in seeing how the Predator Polymags and the H&N Terminators would shoot out of the KT-HPA. And what I noticed was, as I shot, I was getting velocity readings from the chronograph, but they were dropping quite a bit, to the point where certainly seemed like something was wrong. And then, as I was shooting, I was feeling tremendous bursts of air on my face as I would shoot. So I pulled the breech off. 2 completely cracked out sections, including this round piece is from the area right where the really small breech screw goes. In this particular case, it's located underneath the bolt when the bolt is in a closed position. So it definitely was over tightening that bolt. The rest of it, you can see this big opening right here is where that piece came from. So this breech has become useless. So I will be waiting for receiving the new one and take this from that point. That's all, folks.